And welcome everyone to Missouri Valley Conference Chat. I'm Andy Katz. Pleased to be joined by Indiana State's Greg Lansing. And Greg, you guys won 3 of 4 and swept Illinois State and handed Loyola Chicago their first Valley loss. So what's been the difference the last couple of series?
Well, we're just continuing to improve, Andy, and great to be on with you. Thanks for having me. We started out with 3 really good teams. You know, Drake, Missouri State, and Loyola. I think right now are combined 34-4, something along those lines. And we did get Loyola once, and we had really tight games with Missouri State and Drake in the second games. And with all our new guys, we just have to keep getting better. We still got some young guys we're relying on. We got 2 fifth-year seniors that we're relying on. So there's a lot of newness. And if we just continue to keep getting better, we're going to be awfully tough towards the end of the year.
So this back-to-back and, having essentially 4 to 5 days, maybe even longer, depending upon when you're playing, but to prepare for one opponent. Talk to your colleagues in the league and, some are okay with it, some are not. Where do you stand on it?
I don't like it. I don't like it for the guys and then my staff. You got to be up all night and going back over stuff and then maybe right back at it early again the next morning. You certainly lose what day of the week it is, getting ready for it. I had some experience with it in college when we play our travel partners back-to-back nights, but you played against different teams. And we've made it fairly scientific. Our trainer, Connor, and our strength coach, Ken, they do a great job, and we monitor their weight and their hydration level and how much they need to drink and eat and try to rest them as much as possible. And as well as I do, that next day is a lot mental. And the guys have handled it pretty good. We've been pretty good to this point on the second day. I don't like it, but the coaches were avoiding it because, that's kind of the reputation of maybe a one bid league. And we didn't want to be that, but to get the most games in as possible. We've had a lot taken away too. Look at the team of Drake, the teams in our league that have been shut down. We got canceled with Southern previously. Evansville, we were supposed to play Wednesday. So a lot can happen. I think this was the best way to get as many games in as possible, but it's certainly not ideal.
So in terms of travel though, going day of and also dealing with only, one site. I know you've got small sample size right now, but how has that been handled?
Well, it's not so bad. If like when we go to Evansville, that's going to be a day of us, be like a high school trip over and back, but that's less than 2-hour trip close to us. So that'll be okay. It'll be different. With us being back-to-back nights, we're still going the day before. We've had 2, we chartered to Missouri State. We're going to charter to Northern Iowa when we go there. But then you are in one place, and it's kind of like your home because our guys don't do anything. I mean, they come to practice, then they go to their apartments or their homes, and they're just with their roommates, and most of them live together. So it hasn't been too awful. Now, we go to Illinois, and we're at Illinois State, and nothing is open. We're really not going into places anyway, but you're bringing all the food into the hotels. Some of the hotels don't like you doing that as much as others, but it's not bad on the back-to-back nights when you're traveling.
So as you mentioned, you already played Drake, you've already played Loyola Chicago, you split with Loyola and got swept by Drake. Right now, they're the 2 teams at the top, and Drake is under
Missouri State.
And Missouri State, thank you. And with Drake undefeated, coming back off a pause, what were your impressions of them, and what are the chances, whether it's you, Loyola, Missouri State, could make this race very interesting down the stretch?
I'm very impressed with them, Andy. You're talking about an unbelievably veteran team. They're very competitive and together. I mean, these guys talk. They worked like crazy. They were really tough. They play so many guys. They were not worried at all about who's getting all the shots. And Darren's done an unbelievable job with them, as he always does. He and his staff. I think they're a team that NCAA tournament can win games. There's no question. I believe the same about a Missouri State, Loyola, but Drake's for real. And I think they're a team, and I've said this this year, the more veteran team you have, I think the better chances you're having as you move forward. And they're a veteran team, and they're tough guys, and they got talent and they got skill as well.
So how would you describe, though, your balance at this juncture in terms of your productivity?
Well, Tyreek Key's returning first team, a two-time first team all league guy, and every defense is trying to keep the ball out of. He did have 31 against Loyola in a game, and then they kind of took him away in the second game. So it goes game by game. Jake Laravia, who I think is as talented as anybody in the league as well, has been in a lot of foul trouble. I mean, it's only going to help us the longer he can stay in games and the more comfortable he gets there, because we're a better team when he's on the floor. But Cooper Neese and Trey Williams have been playing very well for us as well. And again, it's all these new guys with two fifth-year guys that were starters at other places, a freshman backup point guard, another sophomore that's coming off the bench for us. You know how that is. It takes transfers a while. It takes freshmen a while, but we're gradually getting more and more comfortable. And consistency has been our biggest thing. That we got a hard-working, good group of guys, but you got to do it consistently for 40 minutes.
So, Greg, anytime we get into February and we're a week away, that's the stretch run. That's when you want to play your best basketball. But because of the pandemic, unprecedented season, I'm just curious in terms of the stress level and the anxiety every time you guys go through the testing, how much is heightened as we get closer and closer into February when this is the stretch run, and if there's not that you want to pause at any point in the season, but this is probably the worst time to get a pause as you're really starting to get a rhythm and going toward trying to get to the tournament and a higher seed.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on wood here because we've only had 5 guys with it, and 2 of them aren't playing right now. They're out with injuries, and you do celebrate 3 times a week when we get tested. It's a celebration for passing those tests. And I know I was listening to Coach Izzo talk the other day. He has no idea how he got it when he got it because he's not doing anything. And our guys have just been so mature and never complained and handling things great. I hope we can continue doing what we're doing with the protocols so we can have all of our guys. But that's exactly right. And a lot of teams in our league, I know, like Loyola, Porter had said there, basically all of them have had it. So you're going to have to, and they're not going to get tested again till after the tournament's over. So you're going to have some good fortune with that without injuries. But it is different times, and you're celebrating day to day, passing those tests. And like you said, I think we're going to continue to have a chance to improve as long as we have some good fortune.
Well, I wish you nothing but good fortune, as Indiana State is certainly playing some of its best basketball this season, only going to get better. Won 3 of their last 4 games here in the Valley. Greg, I appreciate it. Stay safe.
Hey, thanks a lot, Andy.